For years, the electric vehicle industry has chased the ideal battery, one that's safe, cheap, durable, and offers great range. Promises of 1,000-mile solid-state batteries and breakthroughs in lithium-metal cells have excited us, but real-world hurdles like cost, production, and safety often ground those hopes. Now, a new contender enters the scene: plastic batteries made from conductive polymers, not rare metals. These batteries don't catch fire, last over 12,000 full charge cycles, 10 times longer than Tesla's 4,680 cells, and use common, low-cost materials. While their current energy density isn't top-tier, next-gen polymer packs aim for over 150 watt-hours per kilogram, enough for city EVs, fleet support, and charging stations. The question isn't if plastic batteries will matter but how fast they'll scale. Welcome to AMP Drive. How can plastic batteries be used in EVs? The hype around polymer-based plastic batteries sparks a simple question: can these cells, with their remarkable longevity and quick power delivery, serve as main batteries in electric cars, or are they stuck as niche players for stationary storage? At first look, the answer seems clear. With a current energy density of about 60 watt-hours per kilogram, just a quarter of Tesla's 4680 cells and far below the 500+ watt-hours per kilogram promised by CATL's lithium-metal chemistry, a polymer pack for a 300-mile mid-size crossover would weigh over a ton and eat up cabin space. Add a high self-discharge rate, several times that of lithium-ion cells, and the case weakens, as a car losing charge while parked could become a customer headache. Still, dismissing polymers ignores two key paths to automotive use. First, developers claim a second-generation cell, dubbed the energy reservoir, targets tripled energy density. Even if half achieved, a 150 to 180 watt-hours per kilogram cell could match iron phosphate packs in entry-level Model 3s or BYD Dolphins, making the weight penalty manageable for fleet operators prioritizing cycle life. Second, polymer electrodes excel at raw power and thermal stability, enduring 12,000 cycles with minimal fade and no fire risk, unlike lithium-ion. This makes them ideal for hybrid battery setups, where a small polymer module handles regenerative braking and acceleration surges, shielding a lighter lithium pack from stress and wear. The fastest way to test this is what engineers suggest: build 100 pilot packs, install them in fleet vehicles using over 70 kilowatt-hours daily, and collect data. Trials in taxis, shuttles, and vans across deserts, tropics, and alpine winters would show if self-discharge, thermal drift, or fatigue is a deal-breaker. If range loss or idle drain proves too high, the industry can pivot to utility-scale storage, where batteries handling huge power pulses without fire risks are in demand. But if pilots show smart thermal management and software contain self-discharge, and next-gen cells hit 100 watt-hours per kilogram, carmakers gain a safer, sustainable option made from hydrocarbons, not conflict minerals, with near-endless lifespan. A city car needing 100 miles of range could benefit, as shallow cycles could add decades to its life. There are broader grid impacts too. A chemistry handling megawatt charge discharge could buffer urban superchargers, absorbing cheap overnight power and releasing it during peak evening demand. It also suits renewable heavy microgrids, where solar drops at dusk cause issues. Polymer banks could supply gigawatts briefly, buying time for other resources. These stationary roles don't vanish if cells move to vehicles. A strong stationary market could fund scale-up, pushing costs toward the $20 per kilowatt-hour goal analysts envision. Critics say comparing potential to proven tech is risky, and they're right. Until polymers hit 150 watt-hours per kilogram and cut idle losses by 2/3, no major carmaker will risk a mass-market launch. Yet, lithium-ion was once deemed too volatile and costly for cars, a view Tesla overturned with cylindrical cells. Modest polymer success could follow suit. A chemistry starts small, finds a key use, scales up, and becomes viable where early math said no. For now, polymers aren't ready for long-range EVs but are close to transforming hybrid pack buffering and ultra-safe stationary storage for charging infrastructure. The smart move is to accelerate pilots, seed cells into 100 vehicles, gather multi-climate data, and let facts, not hype, decide if polymers belong in cars or substations. This test and verify path is the only way to answer, can plastic batteries drive EVs with confidence? It's the roadmap before bold claims about a 300-mile polymer EV hold weight. How could a 100-year lifespan exist outside a lab? Claims of a century-long battery raise doubts, as lab tests rarely match real-world wear, vibration, heat swings, and user abuse. Polyjoules polymer chemistry survives 12,000 cycles at room temperature, which math suggests a 100-year life at one discharge every 3 days. But real life isn't so tidy. A delivery van might cycle twice daily in summer heat, a stationary pack could sit partially charged for weeks, and a commuter car might face winter nights slowing ion flow. These shifts cause unpredictable degradation, calendar aging from moisture, fatigue from potholes, or reactions at high charge. So, a pack touted as century-lasting will likely lose capacity before 2125 in heavy vehicle use. Still, a 50-year minimum dwarfs lithium-ion longevity, pointing to ideal uses, low-maintenance grid storage, remote microgrids, or industrial sites where battery swaps are tough. The auto industry, meanwhile, eyes lithium-metal cells exceeding 500 watt-hours per kilogram, using thin lithium sheets instead of heavy graphite anodes. CATL says this could triple iron phosphate cell density, dropping a 70 kWh pack's weight from 500 to under 200 kilograms, boosting efficiency and cabin space. With thinner casings and gigawatt charging stations, a sedan could hit 1,000 miles and recharge in coffee break time. Tesla's CATL tie-up positions it as an early adopter. If Fremont and Shanghai produce these packs soon, rivals will struggle to justify 400-mile premium models. Lithium metal cuts costs by needing less cell mass per kilowatt-hour, even if lithium prices rise, and fast charging boosts fleet use. A ride-hailing car could slash 40-minute charge stops to 10, increasing revenue and undercutting diesel costs. The catch is cycle life. Prototypes fade after 500 cycles, okay for luxury but not taxis or grid-to-vehicle use. CATL's AI-driven electrolyte work aims to double endurance to 2,000 cycles, enough for 20 years of commuting or 8 years of ride-sharing. If achieved, this leap would rival the shift from flip phones to smartphones. Polymers and lithium metal sketch complementary futures, polymers for longevity and safety, lithium metal for weight savings and range. The industry must weave both into the energy ecosystem, ensuring future retirees recall a diversified battery revolution. How can 5-minute EV charging avoid grid crashes? CATL's Na-Extra sodium-ion battery adds 300 miles in 5 minutes, with 175 watt-hours per kilogram cells handling over 1 megawatt. But 1 million cars charging simultaneously would demand 1 terawatt, nearly US grid capacity. Plastic batteries offer a different angle, with 60 watt-hours per kilogram now and 150 to 180 targeted. They don't match sodium-ion speed but shine in durability, surviving 12,000 cycles with no fire risk or cooling needs. For fast charging, they could buffer stations, charging slowly from the grid and discharging fast for 5-minute EV sessions. A 3 megawatt-hour plastic battery could deliver 15 megawatt bursts to multiple EVs, enabled by polymer electrodes' high power output. They're safe for unattended hot environments like highway depots. In cars, they're too heavy for 300-mile range but suit city EVs or fleets under 100 miles daily, especially with 5-minute top-ups at depots. This hybrid ecosystem lets plastic batteries boost cycle life and grid safety while sodium-ion chases range. They could also enable vehicle-to-grid, with long lifespans ideal for bidirectional systems. In 5 years, with energy reservoir cells and better management, plastic-powered buffers could make 5-minute charging safe and scalable. How will plastic batteries replace lithium in 5 years? With 12,000 cycle life, no fire risk, and no lithium, cobalt, or nickel, plastic batteries promise safety and sustainability. Current 60 watt-hours per kilogram cells aim for 150 to 180, rivaling LFP packs. They're not yet fit for long-range EVs but excel in high-power roles. In hybrid systems, a polymer module absorbs braking and acceleration stress, extending lithium pack life. If a plastic battery lasts longer but weighs more, would you choose it for your EV? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. For more EV or Tesla bot news, like, share, and subscribe to AMP Drive with notifications on. See you next video. Goodbye. Scientists recently unveiled a lithium battery killer, a supercapacitor charging in seconds. A 7.2 kWh hybrid pack hit 80% in 72 seconds, 98% in 120 seconds, and 100% in 2.5 minutes at 900 amps, or 360 kilowatts. It claims over 100,000 cycles, far beyond lithium-ion, with stable extreme temperature performance. Targeted for city EVs, e-bikes, drones, robots, and farming gear needing fast charging with under 5-minute downtime, this could explode urban EV growth if charging matched gas refueling speed. Welcome to AMP Drive. How do these supercapacitors work? Unlike lithium-ion batteries, which use chemical reactions, supercapacitors store energy electrostatically. Two conductive plates, often carbon-based, are separated by an electrolyte. Voltage drives ions to the plate's surfaces, storing energy in the electric field for second-fast charge-discharge. With no chemical changes, they last over 100,000 cycles and deliver high power density, supplying huge currents instantly. Their drawback was low energy density, 5 to 10 watt-hours per kilogram versus lithium-ion's 150 to 250, limiting sustained output for EVs or phones. KIST's May 2025 breakthrough uses a polyaniline, PONY, and carbon nanotube, CNT, fiber composite. CNTs offer high conductivity and ion transport, while PONY boosts capacitance. This yields 1,714 farads per gram, far above carbon's 100 to 200, with 418 watt-hours per kilogram, double many lithium-ion cells, and 1,150 watts per cubic centimeter power density for ultra-fast cycles. After 100,000 cycles, it retains nearly 100% capacity. Compared to lithium-ion, KIST's supercapacitor stores 60% more energy per kilogram than Tesla's 4680 cells, 250 watt-hours per kilogram. Its 5,000 watts per kilogram power density dwarfs lithium-ion's 1 to 3, suggesting sub-second 0 to 60 miles per hour EV acceleration, though real-world limits apply. Durability is unmatched, 100,000 cycles with no loss versus lithium-ion's 20 to 30% fade after 1,000 to 2,000 cycles, ideal for frequent fast-charging EVs or drones. Compared to Maxwell's Boost Cap, 10 watt-hours per kilogram, 10 kilowatts per kilogram, 500,000 cycles, KIST's 418 watt-hours per kilogram and 100 kilowatts per kilogram narrows the battery gap, enabling hybrid systems for long-range EVs. A 20 kilowatt-hour pack could recharge in under 3 minutes at 400 kilowatts. No pricing exists for KIST's PONY-CN supercapacitor, but estimates suggest $50 per kilowatt-hour at scale, rivaling lithium-ion's $100 in 2025. PONY and CNTs are cheap, $30-$60 and $50 per kilogram, versus NMC's $20 to $30 plus extras, pushing lithium-ion to $100 to $150 per kilowatt-hour. KIST's roll-to-roll process cuts steps, unlike lithium-ion's complex methods. Early production may hit $100 to $150 per kilowatt-hour, dropping to $50 to $80 with scale. A 10 kilowatt-hour EV pack could cost $500 to $800, versus $2,000 to $3,500 for older ultracapacitors or $1,000 to $1,200 for lithium-ion. Challenges include scaling to metric tons with 95% yield, as CNT purification can raise costs to $200 to $300 per kilogram, and PONY inconsistency can hurt performance. Volumetric density, 820 milliwatt-hours per cubic centimeter, matches lithium-ion but drops to 350 to 400 watt-hours per kilogram at pack level, needing 10% more material. Electronics and safety add $50 to $100 per kilowatt-hour, and OEMs like Tesla demand reliability, keeping prices at $100 per kilowatt-hour until 2026 to 2027. By 2030, prices could hit $30 to $40, challenging lithium-ion. Benefits include seconds fast charging, 90% in 45 seconds versus lithium-ion's minutes, adding 50 kilometers in 1 minute for EVs, or 80% smartphone charge in 30 seconds. With 98% capacity after 150,000 cycles, they outlast lithium-ion's 1,000 to 2,000. Could KIST's supercapacitor replace EV batteries, or are range limits a hurdle? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to AMP Drive with notifications for more EV and Tesla bot news. See you next video. Goodbye. What if Tesla's 4680 cells aren't the breakthrough claimed? Elon Musk admits they're not top tech, as they're not in Model 3 or Y. Musk teased a 5-minute sodium battery and 100 times density leap, but sodium-ion's truth is complex. Can it charge in 5 minutes? What's behind that 100 times claim? Welcome to AMP Drive. Why does sodium-ion charge in 5 minutes, and what percentage? Energy density, power per kilogram, is key for EVs and gadgets. Higher density means longer range or runtime without bulk. Claims of 10 or 100 times leaps raise skepticism. Mainstream lithium-ion delivers 200 to 300 watt-hours per kilogram, enough for a 20-watt bulb for 10 to 15 hours per kilogram. Reaching 500 would be huge, but gains are gradual. Sodium-ion, praised for low cost and abundant materials, lagged at 130 to 160 watt-hours per kilogram, better for storage than EVs. CATL's April 2025 NA hits 175 watt-hours per kilogram, nearing LFP, with 10,000 cycles and minus 40 degrees Celsius operation. Rumors suggest 200 watt-hours per kilogram by late 2025, making sodium-ion a real EV contender. A 100 times leap to 15,000 to 20,000 watt-hours per kilogram matches gasoline's 12,000 but isn't feasible in safe, rechargeable cells. Even 10 times to 1,750 is beyond labs. Real-world value lies in cycle life, speed, temperature resilience, cost, and safety. A 175 watt-hour per kilogram battery with 10,000 cycles and fast charging in cold is more practical than a 300 watt-hour per kilogram cell that degrades or overheats. Where do sodium-ion batteries rank? Aluminum graphene offers 200 to 300 watt-hours per kilogram, 10-minute charging, and 5,000 cycles but faces production hurdles. Iron Air's 50 to 100 watt-hours per kilogram suits long-duration storage at $20 to $50 per kilowatt-hour, with 10,000 cycles, rolling out by 2026. BYD's Blade battery, at 160 watt-hours per kilogram, powers 250 to 300 miles with top safety, already in production. LFP's 120 to 160 watt-hours per kilogram, 3,000 cycles, and $80 to $100 per kilowatt-hour is reliable for affordable EVs. Sodium-ion's 175 watt-hours per kilogram, 10,000 cycles, and cold performance make it a rising star for cost and sustainability. The best depends on needs: speed, aluminum graphene, backup, Iron Air, safety, Blade, reliability, LFP, or cost, sodium-ion. Why does liquid metal matter to sodium-ion's future? Sodium-potassium alloy's high conductivity could enable fast charging with low risk, acting as a high-performance cousin to sodium-ion's affordability and stability. Its reactivity demands costly containment, unlike stable sodium-ion, which avoids lithium-ion's fire risks. Taming liquid metal could yield hybrid batteries blending sodium-ion's safety with top performance. Sodium-ion leads near-term, but liquid metal hints at sodium's broad potential, from city buses to hypercars. What are the timelines and risks? Sodium-ion is shipping, with CATL's NA targeting high-volume use. Iron Air offers mid-term, 2027 to 2030, growth for grid storage with medium risk. Solid-state batteries are high risk due to delays despite performance promise. Post-2030, aluminum graphene and experimental designs are speculative but transformative for high-risk investors. Which tech, LFP, sodium-ion, solid-state, or iron-air, would you bet on for 5 years? Share in the comments. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to AMP Drive with notifications for EV and Tesla bot updates. See you next video. Goodbye.